Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Powers, Superintendent of the Twinsburg City School District. Welcome to Twinsburg Schools Today. Boy, it's hard to believe that summer is now in our rearview mirror and we're getting ready for an exciting school year. We welcomed our Tigers back on August 16th and they're excited to be back, and we have so many exciting programs to share with you today in our segment. First though, we're going to begin with Mr. Chad Welker, our business manager. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It has been a very busy summer in your office.
It sure has been, and it's a complete team effort for our entire staff. So when the teachers are gone away, we're busy at work getting ready for the next school year.
Absolutely. So when folks think that the school district is quiet over the summer months, not so much so out of the business office.
No, absolutely not.
Well, today in our show, Mr. Welker, you're going to talk a little bit about the projects that happened and some of the exciting things that are brand new for our school district in the 17-18 school year. So let's start, first of all, talking about some of the technology initiatives that you oversaw this summer.
Sure. So we were quite excited about a number of technology initiatives. I know under the leadership of Matt McGing, we oversaw a number of projects. Mrs. Farthing's going to be talking about one of them in your second segment, about an exciting Chromebook initiative, which will allow us to go 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 depending on the grade level. So pretty excited about that rollout over the next several years. But we also installed a new Project Lead the Way lab, and
those computers are just something.
Yes, they're very large screens, over 23 inches big, and it definitely brightens up that room. So we've got the Project Lead the Way lab in addition to 2 other labs that we did this summer. And then there's a number of projects that Matt McGing and his technology team do that are behind the scenes that if we didn't do them, somebody would notice, but to beef up our infrastructure as well. So
we work on a replacement cycle then for technology.
Absolutely.
Great. So we have our technology in place, and as you said, our Director of Curriculum, Jennifer Farthing, will speak a little bit about some of those initiatives in the second segment of our show today.
Yes.
But I know that you manage a lot of the nuts and bolts behind the academic programming that we have here in the district.
Right.
Okay, and also talking about nuts and bolts, I know that our transportation department works very diligently over the summer months just planning routes, but this year we had something new happen there. Can you explain that?
Sure. So we implemented a new routing software. It's called TransFinder.
And what does a routing software do?
So essentially we're routing all of our students. We have over 45 buses in our fleet. So we're planning, we map out all of our students, and then the routing software helps us efficiently plan those routes. So that we're able to spread out the routes effectively. And so this program really got us into the 21st century with our routing software. We had an old routing software that was from the early or late 80s and 90s. So you can definitely imagine the change in the program and how much more internet-based it is, how it integrates a number of technologies to make our routes more efficient and more effective.
And it's so important that our routes are efficient. You know, when you think about buses and students getting on buses, you don't often think about what it takes to get them there on time, the buses that is, and making sure they get back and forth to the school and then deliver our students at the end of the school day.
Right. And I'd just like to thank the entire transportation staff, including Eric Brunnan, Tracy Abbott, and Bonnie Vadine, because they really took that project, and it was a huge endeavor for them to learn that new routing software. And we started the school year without many hiccups. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for your efforts in getting that job done too.
Sure.
So we talked in last year's show about our brand new multimedia project and the fact that we were so fortunate to secure 4 corporate partners last school year.
Yes. And
through those partnerships, now we have our multimedia projects ready to roll here in the new school year. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So this Friday we have our upcoming football game, which is our first endeavor with our full staff of students. We have over 20 students who are going to be operating the equipment. It's the same equipment that's used at Cleveland Browns Stadium, at Progressive Field at Ohio State. We had our training last night, our first training, and just to see the look on our students' faces when they're operating this equipment has been a very rewarding experience. And it wouldn't be without the help of the 4 sponsors. We secured well over $450,000 worth of value in our scoreboard sponsorships through University Hospitals, Dr. Pepper Snapple Group, Cardinal Health, and then Carpet Country. Those were the 4 that helped us deliver this project at no cost to the community. So it's definitely a fun project, and very excited about it.
So at Tiger Stadium, we have the brand new scoreboard.
Yes.
And can you sort of explain what it looks like for those individuals who haven't seen it?
Sure. So it's a full LED scoreboard. It's the same resolution that's at Ohio State or Cleveland Browns Stadium. So we have the ability of having full-length advertisements on there with sound. We can do a number of different animations. Eventually, we're working towards instant replay as well. So we'll have a full-scale production. Mr. Kirtley, who's one of our teachers, who's also helping to oversee the students. We're looking to build on it year after year, season after season, and just looking forward to seeing it come to life.
It is so exciting, even if you're driving down Ravenna Road when the scoreboard is on, how crisp the images appear on it. It's just something to see.
Absolutely.
So we have the brand new scoreboard at Tiger Stadium, and then over at Twinsburg High School, some additions as well.
Right, so at Twinsburg High School, we installed 2 new scoreboards to replace our scoreboards from the 90s. One is a stat board, so we're able to display the stats of our varsity games for basketball, how many points athlete has, or how many fouls for volleyball, how many aces or kills that they have. So, and then on the other side, we have a full video screen as well that allows us to do animations, do some live videos with sound. So pretty exciting, because I don't know too many high schools that have that type of technology in a gymnasium.
Right, and then we have 4 LCD screens in the commons at the high school.
Right. It was really important for us to make sure that it was this project appealed to our whole student body. So we also added the auditorium as well. We have a number of our showcase events from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade hosted there. So now we'll have the ability of simulcasting all the events in the auditorium into the commons. So if you're like me, who has a 1-year-old, if you have a crying baby, you'll be able to go out there, or if you're buying concessions, just a way to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the exciting action in the auditorium.
That's fantastic. We are so appreciative of our partners, our sponsors here, and local businesses in our town. And we also are so excited about the fact that this multimedia project involves our students. I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
Great skills that they can learn.
Yeah. It's definitely really fun to watch the looks on the faces of the students, both the AV crew and then also the athletes or the drama, show choir, all the different people seeing the results of our efforts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue to talk about one of our partners, and that's Dr. Pepper Snapple Group.
Yes.
And they, as part of their contract, provided for us some equipment.
Yes.
For food services.
Yeah, so they as part of the agreement, they freshened up all of our vending machines, all of our coolers. We have branded equipment, so we have our Twinsburg City School District logo with our motto. And they've done everything, even from the water bottles on the sidelines, water coolers, just to freshen up our look. So we're very appreciative of that. And they even did some work with 2 concession stands too, upgrading the menu boards. So a number of different touches just to increase the appeal of our district.
I just love how crisp everything looks. Nice and new, and it's all branded now with the Twinsburg Tiger.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Well, beyond the additions to the food service department and all the work that we've just talked about, our maintenance crew and our groundskeepers were very busy this summer, just refreshing our facilities and grounds. Can you share a few things that happened?
Sure. So each summer, our head custodial staff takes a look at their buildings. We have a number of summer project meetings where we talk about projects that they do on an individual basis, and all those smaller projects were done extremely well. Very proud of our staff as we work through our summer cleaning. Some of our larger projects included our roofing project at RBC, where we redid the roof above the office area and above the library. So those were the next two in our replacement cycle that we needed to address. We also touched up a number of roofs at Wilcox and the high school, and every building was touched up through a preventive maintenance plan too. So a number of roofing projects. We did a number of less exciting projects like that keeps us warm, safe, and dry. Mm-hmm. One would be the sewer project, which is one of my favorite ones at Wilcox. But redid the sewer lines there to make sure that we don't have any issues with that as well.
And we added coats of paint in many places too.
Yes, we did a number of painting projects, updated each auditorium with different touches. Nice. So at the high school we have a new auditorium floor, or a refinished auditorium floor, where we resanded it and we painted it the black. That's the same that's used at E.J. Thomas Hall and also Playhouse Square. It's that same finish.
The auditorium at the high school gets so much use.
Yeah, so we did that. At RBC, we updated their floor within the seating area, and at Dodge, we updated the carpeting. So each auditorium got a refresh as well, depending on their needs.
And in order to support all of the refresh that happens over the summer, we're most grateful for our Permanent Improvement Fund.
Absolutely. Without it, none of this would be possible. And we've really worked hard at developing our facilities master plan to make sure that we're prioritizing our projects, so that each of our projects done this summer were identified in our facilities master plan, and that's served as a guide for us moving forward. So we're very appreciative of that plan for our permanent improvement dollars as well.
Well, and I'm most appreciative of all the work that you do behind the scenes, Chad.
A
lot goes on all year long, but especially in the summer, and we're really proud and impressed with the work that happened. And I think when the students returned in August and the parents were back in our buildings, I think they felt the same way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being my guest to stay on the show.
Sure.
Well, when we come back, we're going to be hearing from our Director of Curriculum, Jennifer Farthing, and our Director of Pupil Services, Denise Trapphagen. But before we get to that, I'm very proud to present to you now our bus safety video that was developed in cooperation with our school resource officers, Officer Ron Frisella, Officer Greg Kopniski, our transportation supervisor, Eric Brunton, our bus driver, Robin Green, and our friends here at Cable 9. I hope you enjoy it.
With school in session, it's important to review with everyone the laws in Ohio regarding stopping for school buses. Many people get confused as to when they should or shouldn't stop for a school bus, and it's important that everyone knows the law for the safety of all our children. Remember, if a road is 3 lanes or less, like Ravenna Road, Gettysburg Drive, Oxford Street, or Regatta Trail, then all traffic must stop from either direction when a bus stops to pick up or drop off any school children. If a road has 4 lanes or more, like State Route 82 or State Route 91, then the driver of the vehicle only has to stop if they are going in the same direction as the bus. For example, if you and the bus are both traveling in the same direction on State Route 82, then you have to stop. If you are traveling in the opposite direction, you don't have to stop. In the case of a railroad crossing, when the bus stops at the crossing, you must also stop if you are traveling in the same direction as the bus. Traffic going in the opposite direction does not have to stop for the bus at the railroad crossing. Illegally passing a school bus is a very serious offense. A court appearance is mandatory, and you will be fined up to $500, and your license could even be suspended. Please remember these rules of the road to keep all our school kids safe this year.
Welcome back to our Twinsburg Schools Today program. I hope you enjoyed hearing about all of our facilities and grounds improvements this past summer. And now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about our students and all of the wonderful opportunities that lie ahead for them in the 17-18 school year. With me right now is our Director of Curriculum, Jennifer Farthing. Hi.
Good morning.
And Mrs. Denise Trapphagen, our Director of Pupil Services.
Good morning.
Just like Mr. Welker, you both have been very busy this summer in the planning and finally the implementation of a lot of exciting programs for our students. And we're going to start with talking about the wraparound services we provide out of the Department of Pupil Services. So I know, Mrs. Trapphagen, you were busy last year in something called the LRE cohort. Can you explain a little bit about that to our audience?
Sure. The LRE cohort is least restrictive environment, and what that means is we as a district look at the needs of each individual child that we have, and we want to provide the best services we can, and starting with the general ed classroom. And we want to make sure that all our kids are getting the same services in the general ed classroom. And knowing that some of our students have different needs, we want to make sure those services are going into that general ed classroom as much as they can. But then knowing we do have kids that sometimes we have to service in a different environment, which will be a resource room or maybe out of district. But again, the purpose of it is to educate all our kids in the general ed classroom.
So you mentioned LRE cohort, and it's an acronym that you would often find on a student's individual education plan.
That's correct.
So in that respect, a focus is on helping to ensure all students, but your interest too is making sure that students who learn differently, who may have a disability, are provided opportunities in the general education population as well as in special services.
That is correct.
And so the LRE cohort that our staff participated in last year, who went to that and what was the work that was done?
Okay. We looked at our service delivery of our special ed students and our kids on 504 plans and saw that we needed to do things a little bit differently as far as our services to make sure we were providing them the best services that we possibly can. And so we partnered with curriculum, and we decided as a district, just like we did with the positive behavioral intervention supports, that we wanted to do this district-wide. And we started with our preschool through 12th grade, and so we wanted to make sure that we had representation from all of our buildings with administration, and that we also had representation from our regular ed, our general ed classroom teachers, and our special ed classroom teachers, along with our related services. And when I talk about related services, I'm talking about our psychologists, our speech and language, counselors, OTs, those occupational therapies, so that everybody had ownership in this process. And we we went through the cohort with the SST-8, which is State Support Team 8, and that is in the region that is kind of our bridge from Columbus as far as some of the things that we have to offer our students. And we went to the training in Cuyahoga Falls, and we went to the training. We did 4 training sessions down there. It was really nice because it gave us an opportunity to network with other districts. It gave us an opportunity to talk amongst ourselves, because sometimes with the busyness of the school day, we just don't have the time, to collaborate. So we really, and we came up with a plan, and that plan is for this year. We are going to continue the training, and we are going to now send 2 of our regular ed teachers and 2 of our special ed teachers, along with the administrator from each building, to a cohort of co-teaching, because from this LRE we learned that the best services are serviced in the general ed classroom. So we are going to be continuing that this year with the SST-8, and they are also going to be coming to our district on one of our staff development days to meet with each of the individual buildings in regards to co-teaching and the importance of it, and just kind of the framework of how we do that for the success of all of our students.
Sounds like it's an initiative that'll be impacting all of our classrooms.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So that's the academic piece that you've been working on in collaboration with our curriculum department. And I know one of the main focus out of your office happens to be the social emotional needs of our students, making sure that when our students come to the Twinsburg City School District, that they feel loved, that they feel accepted, that their peers understand the right way to communicate and to get along with each other.
Right.
And now I think 3 or 4 years ago we began the work around PBIS. What is that about?
Positive behavior intervention supports, and what this is we want to, like you said, we want to wrap around whatever a child needs coming into our district. We want to make sure, whether it's academics or it's behavior or social emotional, we've got the services, to provide that child so that they can be successful. And what we did was we looked at developing a leadership team, and that was 3 years ago. And that was members of each building, and we looked at how can we positively influence our kids, and rather than being punitive and catching kids do bad, we want to catch them doing good things and reward them for that type of thing. And we also recognize those kids at the board meeting because there's a lot of good going on, and we just need to capture the positive. And then from that, we initiated building level teams, and that's composed of the building administration and also teachers in the building. And then this past year, we recognized that with the drugs and alcoholism, and a lot of our kids are coming to school with a lot of, they've been exposed to a lot of things. We've got the opioid epidemic going on. We've got kids of divorce, and a lot of things that you may not think a child may be going through. They're coming to school with that, and we wanted to make sure that we had the mental health component to wrap around our kids. And 2 years ago, we brought in Beachbrook, and we have 3 social workers, one at a part-time person that services both Wilcox and Bissell, and then we have a full-time person that services RBC and Dodge, and then a full-time person at the high school. And they have just been very valuable as far as giving trainings to our staff and students, and just it's a preventative program, and we just want to make sure that we're doing outreach to not only our students and our faculty, but to the community and our parents. And that's our focus this year is the parents. And they have been active in securing some grants for us in partnership. We've got 2 grants, one at or 3 grants, mini grants from the Alcohol and Drug Addiction and Mental Health, ADM, and what we're doing with those is parents' awareness in preventative service, and how you start talking with your child with drugs or bullying or suicide or any kind of triggers you might see or warning signs at home.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So your office is really all about providing that social emotional support as
Right.
well as overseeing all of our special programs for our students.
That's correct.
Well, and you work so closely with Mrs. Farthing, our
Right.
Director of Curriculum, and welcome again to our show.
Thank you.
I know you were busy over the summer planning a exciting brand new initiative for our district, and let's talk about our Chromebook initiative a little bit.
We're very excited. That just doesn't even crack the surface of how much we're looking forward to this. We spent the last few years doing a lot of research and talking to our neighboring districts about how they've done it and what did they learn. And over that period of time, we then have presented multiple times and worked through the Board of Education, and are very pleased that our levy was successful with our community. So we have the ability that we will be starting a Chromebook initiative. We'll be starting with a rollout to our staff at Twinsburg High School in the very near future. And then after that, we will be having an initiative that will provide a one-to-one Chromebook device for our 9th and 10th graders at Twinsburg High School. And the goal rollout time right now is that they will receive those in January.
Now, why is it so important that we begin with our staff in the professional development part of this initiative?
We know that we have to start with our staff because they have to embrace it and be willing to use it. And I think all of our staff know that the students are going to know more about some things than they do, but they have to be comfortable and just ready to use it and willing to change, because when a student walks into your room with a device, your instruction is going to change. So we need our staff to be ready for the instructional change and the operation of the device.
Right, and overseeing the program will be Mrs. Mariola.
Yes, we're very excited that Mrs. Mariola is hired as the supervisor of innovative programming. So she's going to be the person behind the scenes getting all of that professional development done with the staff. And on the first day of school, she started working in some classrooms already to be ready to roll it out with our students.
That's fantastic. So a lot of great things happening out of curriculum relative to the Chromebook initiative, and much more to come in many years ahead.
Correct. And there, just as a public service announcement, the information about the Chromebooks was from the Board of Education meeting on August 2nd, was clipped and is available on our website if any parents would like to view that. Of course, lots more information will be coming home, but if anyone wants to see the whole plan, because we have a 10-year plan
Yes, we do.
all figured out for what our goals are.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So, and also over the summer, you spent a lot of time with our building administrators looking at student performance data.
Yes.
And that has to do with the local report card and the Ohio State test. We've had some really good news.
Yes, we have. I'm sure the community has noticed, we have a lot of acronyms when we talk up here.
Yes,
and,
we do.
One of the acronyms that we most recently received our score in was AMO, which stands for Annual Measurable Objectives. And our students are based in subgroups. So you'll have a all-student subgroup, you have Caucasian student, you have African American students, and you have different groups of students. And the point of that is to see how each subgroup is performing each year. And our news was that our preliminary results were a B in that for the district, and that is an increase from a D to a B.
That's huge.
So we are so excited, and all of our students made great gains last year.
Well, congratulations. That was a
Thank
lot of
you.
hard work coming
Yes.
out. Your department, your staff,
And with our staff, yes, our
Absolutely.
teaching staff worked very hard.
and their students,
Yes. Oh my goodness, they sure did, and we know that firsthand. Yes, they work very hard.
for sure. The next new initiative we're going to talk a little bit about is our academy at Twinsburg High School.
Yes, we are very excited about the academy. Also, the academy is going to be a program that is going to integrate. We're going to integrate businesses in the community with our students. So we have a whole plan. It's for multiple years, but we're hoping that our students starting 8th grade, 9th grade will get involved in the academy. We have a kickoff this evening, and we're just looking forward to seeing what the businesses and the schools can do together. We had so many businesses say, we have jobs, we need people to fill our jobs. So we're hoping that we can connect the students in the right place to what is going to interest them for their future.
Well, I look forward to hearing all of the great things coming out of the academy as well.
Yes.
So much excitement happening at the Twinsburg City School District
Yes.
this school year. Thank you for your efforts in launching the first day of school, and as we work forward in time, thanks for your support of our kids.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our Twinsburg Schools Today Back to School program. I hope that you visit our schools very soon. You can find the very much up-to-date information on our district website at www.twinsburg.k12.oh.us. Hope to see you soon at one of our many, many events. Have a great day.